All right, everyone. I had a few people ask me some questions about what my favorite ratchet was, and I have a few. As you can see here, I have a number of ratchets. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 quarter-inch ratchets. And this probably don't even put a dent in what I have. But these are some of the ratchets that I use periodically, and there's a couple in this pile that I use all the time. So I'm going to go over those and explain to you why I like certain ones and why that I use them. Starting off with this icon right here. I mentioned it in my comments before that this was one of my favorite ratchets, and especially during the cold months of the year, because this elastomer handle is very pliable. It doesn't get hard. It's very comfortable. It's not like you're touching a cold piece of steel. And like I said, it's very comfortable for what it is. It is a little bit bulky up here in the handle area. I do like this ratchet a little better than their solid steel handle one, which is this guy here. We set them side by side. Basically the same length. But this one seems to be cumbersome compared to this one. This one seems to be balanced a little more, maybe because the handle is a little lighter than the solid steel handle, maybe. I don't know. But they're identical ratchets. But I prefer this one over this one. This is a 90 tooth ratchet, and you can see that I do use it. I use this quite a bit, like I said, during the winter months or colder days. It's just a more comfortable ratchet than a steel handle one, especially when you're touching cold metal. The backlash on this one is not horrendous like some of the Icon ones. And when you load this one up, like if you press against it, it does not hang up like the 3/8 one. So I really like this ratchet. It's been a very good ratchet. In the beginning when I bought it, this set screw came out and I had to put a little Loctite on it. That's the only problem that I've had with this. The reason why I bought this over a Snap-on was because these handles are considered to be consumables through Snap-on. So if you buy a fancy ratchet for the handle, if you wear it out, whatever it may be, they don't warranty that. You have to pay for a new handle. So if I wear this one out, if I don't like it, if it locks up, the handle peels off of whatever it may be, I take this back and they give me a whole new ratchet. So, and this was a fraction of the cost of a Snap-on one. You're looking at probably $150, $160 for a ratchet and Snap-on with a handle like this. So yeah, I mean, this was like $30 or something like that. I think it was $29 before they raised the prices. So this has been a great ratchet for me. I have no problem with the lever. It flexes at a 90-degree angle, fully extends 90 degrees the other way. So no issues whatsoever with this. This is something that I use every day. The other one that I use every day is going to be this guy here. This is one I had rebuilt recently, and I think I have it here. This is the same ratchet. The only difference is this one has a 3/8 head in it, and I had both these ratchets rebuilt. This one had a 1/4 inch head in it, and I use this thing all the time. You can see the battle scars on it where I've arced against starters. There's another one right there. See how the chrome's worn off of us in some areas. So what I did is I had him put a 3/8 head in this one, and I bought this one, which is the same exact ratchet. I believe it's a TL72, I believe. Only difference is this got a 1/4 inch head in it. I use these every day. This is a very comfortable ratchet. Quite a bit of leverage with this ratchet. This one flexes over 90 degrees, both directions. Still have the same issue with the screw backing out. I've had the screw back out on this one as well. So it's not just a icon thing or cheap ratchet thing. Even these do it. They don't have any kind of detent or anything in them. 72 tooth head, or yeah, 1/4 inch head here. No problem with the lever on these whatsoever. So this is my go-to ratchet right here. Tight areas. This is my 3/8 one. I use this one quite a bit. I even have an older one than this, which I believe is a 36 tooth. I'll show you that one as well. But these 3 ratchets are kind of my go-to in my box that I use the most of. And these are probably my favorite ratchets. Moving on. We have a snap-on one here. I like the red plastic handles. I actually collect these. I don't use these as much as I do this guy here. But you can see it's a little bit shorter. It's another reason that I bought it. Because this guy is shorter than the other one, even with the other handle on it. So I like that and that design. I believe I bought these as a set, 1/4 inch and a 3/8, 100th anniversary edition. And I do use this. I don't use it as often. I bought this because of the cold days. Just like I said, the handle on the Icon one. I like the Icon one a little better. And the reason why I opted to do the red ones is because all my screwdrivers and other stuff are red. And this particular screwdriver, or this particular handle right here, is warranted. So if it cracks or whatever, it's warranted. Instead of the rubber handles that you see on most of them that are considered consumables. This isn't considered a consumable if it's damaged. So like I said, I haven't used this one a whole lot. I tend to use it on cold days and stuff like that, or sometimes I need extra leverage. But this is same thing. It extends over 90 degrees, both directions. Nice back drag on it. Nice smooth ratchet. So this is one that I don't use every day, but like I said, on cold days I'll fall back on this one. If I can't find my Icon one or whatever, or on a different job and I don't feel like going over the box to get it, I'll grab this one. So moving on here, I got another snap-on one here. This is a 36 tooth. This is an older one, just a fixed ratchet. I've used this one quite a bit. Downfall to these, they're open in the back. They're very exposed to dirt and stuff. I still use this one from time to time. It's not my go-to or whatever, but I keep it in the box. I got a tray of 1/4 inch ratchets, miscellaneous ratchets that I use when I need something. It just doesn't quite fit in certain areas, or just need something that has less back drag or something like that. And you can see that some of these are quite thinner than others. Some are the same thickness. That's another reason that I keep them around. This is same ratchet as the 1/4 inch one, TL72, but you can see that it's just a little bit thicker. So it's kind of nice, if you gotta get in tight areas, have extra ratchets for certain things. This is another one. This is an old flex head one. Flexes beyond 9 degrees in both directions. You see this one's had its use. I've had it rebuilt. Thing I don't like about these, like I said, the back is open on them. The switch is actually pinged over into the plate, so it's not reusable if you try to take this apart. So it's a good idea to soak these in some kind of transmission fluid or something like that. But these are good ratchets. Like I said, they're just a lot thinner body, easier to maneuver in some places than others. I always like the recessed switch on these, which you don't see that so much on these guys. They're just flat. So I kind of like the old school ratchets. Have a few of them. They're not my go-to ratchets, but I do use them from time to time because of the head being so thin and stuff. Move on here, see what else we got as far as snap-on here. This is one of my small body ratchets. This is a snap-on. I'm not sure how many tooth this one is. I believe this is a 72 tooth too. I'm not 100% positive. Back drag isn't the greatest on this. It switches fairly easy in both directions. But this was my favorite ratchet for the longest time. And I still use it from time to time for dash work and blender motors and miscellaneous stuff like that. Just always like this teardrop design here. Just a very comfortable ratchet, real thin body. I think that does it for the snap-on ones here. This is the Icon one that you guys already seen, but I didn't tell you much about it. Same exact ratchet as this guy, same exact length. Like I said, the only difference between these two ratchets is the steel handle. I find this one cumbersome. Like I said, good ratchet. Doesn't lock up when you really torque on it or load it up or anything. It's a really good ratchet. 90 teeth. Not my favorite go-to ratchet, but I do keep it around. I gave it a try. I didn't think I would like this comfort grip, so this one I bought first. Found out I liked the ratchet, but it didn't like the handle. They had a display of this one. I tried it, and it just immediately felt more comfortable than this, and just felt more balanced, I guess, because the steel body here, or whatever it may be, just being a little bit lighter with this one. But like I said, I use this one the most, but this is the same exact ratchet. But let's move on a little bit here, and we'll take a look at some other ratchets. We'll get into some 3/8 ratchets as well. This is my Mac ratchet. I do a lot of dash work with this one. This has a locking button in it, so you can lock the sockets on it, which is nice. So when you drop it in the door panel, or if you drop it in the car, the socket don't fall off. I'm not a big fan of locking sockets, but in this case, I actually like it because a lot of times when your hands cramp up or whatever, and the stupid ratchet falls, and the socket does not fall off this thing. So I believe Sunex makes a similar one to this, because I'm sure Mac does not make this. So I believe Sunex or somebody makes this. Recessed lever. Push button for the lock. Flexes over 90 degrees in both directions. And I don't know how many teeth that is, but it's definitely a fine tooth ratchet. It's probably somewhere between 72 and 90 teeth. But definitely one of my more favorite ratchets. Let's see what else we got here. I got another Icon ratchet here. This is basically similar to the one that comes in the kit that they offer, a 48-piece kit or 49-piece kit that they offer, that I did a review on. Backlash on this thing is horrendous. This is supposed to be a low-profile ratchet, and you can see it's a lot thinner, but it just doesn't have the back drag to it. This has never broken or anything else. The lever moves freely. It's just awful to ratchet something with, unless the bolt is frozen there or you got a nylon nut, something like that. This ratchet is basically useless. Like I said, I bought it. I actually took it back, got another one, ended up with the same exact issue. It was no better. So this is not one of my favorite ratchets by any means. It sits in my cart. It's kind of a go-to thing, more like a breaker bar than anything. If it walks off, I'm not broken-hearted about it, because like I said, it's definitely not my favorite ratchet. You guys probably seen this one in my past videos in my toolbox tour. This is an SK ratchet. One thing that bums me out about this is just how floppy the head is on it. But this, I absolutely love this ratchet as far as ratcheting. How smooth it is, fine tooth, how easy it is to switch. I love the old school knurled handles. So a lot of these are definitely great ratchets. Just I can't stand the floppy head on them. Probably seen this one in my toolbox tour as well. This is a 90 tooth Milwaukee. I bought this. This had a 3/8 head in it. I took the 3/8 head out, and I have somewhere along the lines I either lost it between here and the shop. or it's in the car somewhere. But I have one of these with a 3/8 head in it. So I took the one out of this ratchet and put it in a ratchet just like this, which is 3/8. Little stubby ratchet. This is basically a 90 tooth, 1/4 inch stubby ratchet. Don't use this one a whole lot, but it was 90 teeth. Does not have a whole lot of back drag to it. So I went ahead and bought this one, and while I was there, I bought this one because the 3/8 head to swap it into that one. Like I said, this one right here is very little back drag. I don't care for the heavy end, teardrop end on this. Just it's comfortable, just not my go-to ratchet. Trying to think here. Like I said, these are the same ratchet. The only difference is these are 1/4, and I do have a 3/8 one of these somewhere. And I have another Milwaukee here. This is a fairly long ratchet. I don't know exactly how long this is, but this is probably 9 inches long, 10 inches long. Don't really have a tape measure to measure it here. This is locking, so you can lock it in whatever position you want. You leave it unlocked so it moves freely. 90 tooth. And this is a Milwaukee as well. And once again, it has that teardrop handle. I'm just not a big fan of it. It's very comfortable. It's just heavy. It's a heavy ratchet. One of the things I do notice about this, I'm pretty sure that these icons will interchange with those. I'm not 100% sure. I know the Tecton do, because you can turn these ratchets into 3/8 using the Tecton kits. Now I want to say if you took the guts out of this one's a 90 tooth, and this is a 90 tooth ratchet. These two heads are interchangeable here. At least they appear to be in size. I haven't taken it apart and verified that, but I'm pretty sure that these are probably the same gear. So if anybody was looking to make a 3/8 out of something, turn their Icon into one, they could probably get a Milwaukee kit for it. But the reason behind buying this one was just because of the locking handle here. Just in some cases, in some areas, it's just nice to have a rigid handle that's not going to flop around on you. And I believe I got this on sale at Northern Tool. They offered a coupon in the mail. I went down there and kind of took advantage of it. I don't remember if it was X amount of items at a certain percentage, or a certain amount of money, a certain percentage off, or what it was. But that's why I went down and bought these particular ratchets here. And this one I've had for a while. I got a couple of these. I got a 3/8 one and a couple 1/4 inch ones. This is what they call a gearless ratchet. This one I need to get warranted because it's gotten water damage or something to it. That's what I noticed with these. If you put extreme amount of load on it, it'll slip on the ball on the inside. These are actually really nice ratchets. Like I said, to reverse it, you push it one way, go forward, go the other, and they have a low back drag on them. This one is, like I said, it's hung up. I need to get this one warranted. This is one of the ones I put too much leverage on. Probably put a flat spot in it or something, or it's gotten water in it or brake fluid or something. But when these are new, these are very nice ratchets. I've had this one a long time. Like I said, I have another one just like this in my other kit. Very comfortable. I like the ball end on it. Just a great ratchet, and they weren't that expensive. They may be now, but I bought this years ago, and I don't remember them being a whole lot of money. It was just a nice ratchet to have for dash work and stuff. Alright, I think that does it for the 1/4. And we'll jump up to some 3/8 ratchets here. Got an Icon Have another Icon half inch, an Icon extended reach one, which I believe this is 14 or 15 inches long. I have my old faithful snap-on here, and the new 100 tooth. I'll discuss a little bit about it, and another Icon steel handle ratchet. Like I said, this is the half inch one. First, I'm going to start off with my go-to ratchet, which is this guy right here. I can't remember what the part number is on this guy. It's an FLF100. So this is an 80 tooth ratchet. Very smooth ratchet, very low back drag. Easy lever to move. Extends beyond 90 degrees in both directions. So just a really nice ratchet. You can see this one's definitely got the chrome wore off of it. I use this one quite a bit. I've had it rebuilt recently. You can see the head's newer than the rest of the body. Just a great overall ratchet. Pin does come loose in these. I've had him rebuilt this part of it a couple of times. There's a couple of wave washers in here, a new bolt, and they have to be Loctite in place because they will come loose just like any other ratchet. But this is my favorite ratchet right here. I use this one quite a bit. I have quite a few of these. I even have them with a red handle, just no soft handles, because I'm not a big fan of having to pay consumable fees for a handle for a lifetime ratchet, but some people will do it. I'm just not into, if I pay that much money for a ratchet, I feel that should be part of the lifetime warranty, but that's just me. I'd just soon buy a steel handle one and tough it out. So like I said, this is my favorite one right here. I did buy this guy, which is the 100 tooth. It is a little bit longer, which I really liked about this ratchet. It does have a slimmer head. It flexes just the same in both directions, no problems there. Very common for the bolt to come loose, but this bolt is a lot smaller. Really hard to see there, but it's a smaller bolt there. It's not going to take as much load to break this one as it is this one. And it's amazing that they beefed this up around here, but the screw's smaller. Kind of blows my mind, but the other thing is you can see that the screws are through the back side. They changed the logo on it. I really like the old school logo on it, the USA on it. Another reason why I bought this was because of this right here. I just instantly wanted it when I seen the logo. It reminded me of the old school stuff. This is a 100 tooth. The back drag on this thing is awful. People have been complaining about this ratchet all over the internet. You can see that the grease is coming out of it and it's just nasty. I've tried greasing this thing and wire wheeling the gear, trying to make it better, and it's just still, the backlash is just awful. I do like this ratchet as far as the overall design and everything. I think, this being such a problem, I think Snap-on's going to come up with a solution to this, and I'm hoping that it's soon, because I really like the overall design of this ratchet and how thin it is, low profile. Even though it is a little bit smaller in the bolt here, I don't really think that's going to break it. These things, ANSI-wise, are rated for over 150 pounds, so I really don't think you're going to break it unless you're abusing it. Like I said, the only thing I hate about it is the back drag is just horrendous. I don't know if you can hear that. It actually catches every time you stop and go to again. It catches. This is an 80 tooth. You don't hear that, and the back drag is nowhere near as bad as that one. Like I said, this has been my go-to ratchet for years. I like this one better than this one. I just wish that it was as long as this one. But these are the two ratchets I use the most. I tend to fall back on this one, even though I recently bought this one. Just not overly impressed with the back drag and the ratchet mechanism. This is a Icon 90 tooth. I use this one quite a bit. Spark plugs, engine compartment, stuff like that. Usually on cold days, stuff like that. I really like this ratchet. Back drag on it isn't like the greatest, but it's okay. One thing about these is when you load them up, they do not want to move. This one is not that bad. I'm actually going in the wrong direction. That's why it looked like I was fighting that, but I'm not. I'm trying to push down on this and get it to hang up and lock up. And this one has been really good. I haven't had no issues with this one whatsoever. Like I said, this is one of my favorite ones. You can tell by the chrome and the finish on it that I do use this ratchet. This is one of my favorite ratchets that I use during the winter times, but during the summertime it's usually this guy right here for everything. Depends on how bad the arthritis is. Grabbing onto a cold wrench isn't always the best sensation. If you have arthritis, you'll know what I mean. Let's see here. We've got another Icon ratchet here with rubber handle. This is probably 14 inches long, 15 inches long, something like that. This is another one. The backlash isn't bad on it. It's actually comparable to the Snap-on. It's not, I wouldn't say it's as strong as the Snap-on, but the only way you're going to break this is if you're abusing it. Got a good sized pin in it. The shorter one is the same design. Lever moves freely. And if I take and load this one up too, you don't hear it hanging up or anything or have a problem ratcheting. So I really like this one. This is another one of my go-to ones as far as the longer handle. It's definitely not as long as the Snap-on one. I believe the Snap-on one is 18 inches and this one's like 14 or 15 inches, something like that. So I do like this ratchet. I just don't use it as much as I do the longer Snap-on one. I tend to use this shorter one more, usually for engine-based stuff, spark plugs and things like that. This is one of the ones that I had warranted. I really didn't have no problem with the first one that I had. He offered a refund for the ratchet and give you a new ratchet. So I went ahead and got the other ratchet because it was supposed to be better. This one, you can feel it hanging up. I'm having problems turning it, ratcheting it. If I let off, don't put no pressure on it, it does not lock up. If I put pressure on this thing, it just locked up. So I don't know what the difference is between this ratchet and this ratchet, but these ones with the steel handles I've had nothing but problems with as far as ratcheting. I do not use this one a whole lot just because of that reason. I've seen videos where people put a wave washer in here and they say that takes care of the problem. I don't know if that does or not. I don't know that I'm going to pursue it or not. I don't really use it that much. I tend to use this one more. That being said, this one is the same thing. I believe this one right here is probably 14, 15, 16 inches long, something like that. It's the same ratchet as this rubber handle one. And I found this one to be the same way. Doesn't do it as bad, but it starts to get tight when you load it up. I don't know what it is about the ones without the rubber handle on it. Maybe they came from a different facility or something like that. There tends to be a little bit more play in these for some reason. This one's actually tighter. Oh, there it goes. It's a little bit loose. This one seems to have a little as well. So it doesn't seem to have any more play than one than the other. I haven't taken it apart to see if there's a wave washer on one and not the other. I noticed that is one of the things they talk about online. Like I said, I don't use these solid handle ones that much that I'm really worried about it. Just wasn't overly impressed with them. Like I said, I tend to use this one the most and this one as well when I'm not using my Snap-on. I think that's enough about those two. And then this one right here is a 1/2 inch version of a flex head. It extends a little past 90 degrees. both directions. Had the pin come out of this one as well. I had to put Loctite on it. Haven't had any issues with it since I put Loctite on it. It's a steel handle one. I was going to buy the plastic handle one, but I hardly ever use this. Mainly what I use this for is my brake jobs. My actual tool that I use to press my pistons actually takes a 1/2 inch anvil, and I use this ratchet on it. I wanted to buy a Snap-on one, but Snap-on didn't make anything this short and a flex head, and they do now, but at the particular time I bought this, they did not. So I decided to buy this one. I've had no issues with this one. This one doesn't really lock up or anything. It definitely has a little bit of back drag to it. I want to say Country Mile did a video on with this where he tore it apart and he trimmed down the spring inside of here, and it made the back drag a whole lot better. I don't know that I'm going to go that far with it. Like I said, I don't use it a whole bunch, but when I do, it comes in handy because it's a short flex head 1/2 inch ratchet. Like I said, I really have no complaint about the Icon tools other than these two ratchets right here have been the worst as far as hanging up, locking up when you put them under load. It's something about the ones with the steel handles on it. Like I said, I don't know if they come from a different facility, different manufacturing process, or what it is, but I don't have the problem with these two. So, like I said, these have been my go-tos. And really like these two ratchets. And then, like I said, the other two are my Snap-on, which would be my other two favorite ratchets. These are the four that I use most commonly. And I have way more ratchets than that. These are the ones that I fall back on, tend to use the most of. Move on to some 1/2 inch stuff here. You can see that I definitely got my use out of this one. This is a 1/2 inch, 18 inch ratchet. I had the handle replaced on this one. I believe it was originally gray or something like that. I had a gray one and a pink one. I wanted them all to match, so I bought a red handle and had a Snap-on man install it for me. This is part of my 100th anniversary edition. You can see that I've used this one quite a bit. I've actually had this one rebuilt as well, so I broke this one a couple times. Set screw came loose in this one too. Common issue with any flex head ratchet if it doesn't have Loctite on it. This one I use quite a bit, brake jobs and miscellaneous stuff. This is my go-to ratchet. I don't have any Icons this long and 1/2 inch drive. I can't see the purpose of buying them. With my experience with the other two ratchets I had, I just really didn't want to spend the money or waste the money on buying them if I wasn't going to be happy with them. And I have so many of these that were 36 tooth, or I forget how many teeth they were on the old school ones, and I finally got them to warranty them after we got a new distributor. He came in, and when using a new distributor, they're eager to please, and they went out of their way to replace a lot of my ratchets. So there was no reason for me to actually buy a fine tooth ratchet anymore, because I managed to get rid of all my coarse tooth ratchets, and Snap-on replaced them for me. So that's kind of the reason I don't have any other 1/2 inch ratchets other than that one Icon. This one right here is 24 inches long, and I don't use this one a whole lot. This is got a red handle on it as well. I do have one of these with a steel handle on it. I use the piss out of. Like I said, on cold days I may grab this one, but for the most part I don't use a whole lot of 1/2 inch other than caliper bolts and head bolts and stuff like that. Some miscellaneous equipment, heavy equipment that I work on. But I usually don't go grab my plastic handle one. Usually it's the metal handle one. I just brought this home to show you what I use the most of, and this is usually it right here. The only difference is a steel handle instead of a plastic handle like this. And I think that's going to do it for all these ratchets here. Like I said, this is a very small dent in what I have. I believe I showed you 20 ratchets or something like that. And that's just a small dent in what I have, but these are the ones I use the most. The other day we went over this particular set right here, which is the Icon set. And I said I wanted to see if this particular ratchet could be replaced with the flex head, and it cannot. Give me just a second. You have to bear with me. I'm trying to find it here. All right, here is our Icon. You can see that it is longer, and this flex head is obviously not going to fit in this case. So that was kind of a bummer. Like I said, I don't really care for this one. The backlash on this is just horrendous. This one is nice and smooth. It takes very little effort to move. And this is just awful. This takes a lot of tension to move. I don't believe this is going to break in. I believe this is going to be like the other ratchet I bought, because the head is just a little bit thinner. So whoever's manufacturing these, I'm just not overly impressed with them. Looks nice, but quality of it, as far as backlash, is awful. That being said, I talked about putting my snap-on stuff in here, and that is not going to work as well. So let's see. Here is a snap-on ratchet. It's extremely close, but it will not fit in there either. It is just a little bit too long. Now I'm not going to cut this snap-on ratchet down to fit in there. That would be just ridiculous. So that, or I could cut the case. I'm not going to really worry about it. This is kind of like a backup set. It's not a big deal to carry an extra ratchet in this case if I had to. Or for that matter, even have a small journeyman box that I could put my wrenches in or whatever. They make all kinds of cases and stuff and bags, so it wouldn't be a big deal to do something like that. Just not really impressed with the ratchet that came with this kit, and I haven't found a ratchet to actually fit in it yet. Maybe I'll do a little research, and if I do find one that fits in this case, I'll let you guys know, because right now at this point I am not impressed with this ratchet. And I think that's going to do it, guys. Like I said, if you have any anything you'd like to see or anything like that, let me know. I'd be glad to show it to you. But like I said, these are the ratchets I most commonly use. And like I said, my favorite ratchet right now currently is this guy right here. So you can find these all over eBay. FLF100. It's a very common ratchet. I believe this is almost $200 right now, maybe a little over $200. You can find them on eBay anywhere from $70 all the way up to $150. But I think this outbeats anything on the market. The only thing better I would think it'd be a Koken. I don't have a Koken. I know I've watched Mr. Subaru's channel. A number of other people has bragged about them. I have been tempted to buy one, so I can experience the back drag that everybody's talking about. Just haven't pulled the trigger yet. So if anything, that'll probably be my next ratchet. And right now, current to date, this is my favorite ratchet, so to speak. This is something I use every day. You'll find it in my cart and everything else. But like I said, if you found anything in here interesting or anything else you wanted to see, let me know. If I have it, I'd be glad to show it to you. Give me a like, share, and subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys later. Have a good night.